The Retro Buzz starts right after this.
Hey guys, it's Friday, so you know what time it is. It's time for the Retro Buzz, and we've got a really good show for you today with a guest panelist. He's going to be joining us a little bit later on. I just want to let everybody know tonight is going to be a little bit different. Tonight, right after the show, we're literally going to go off the air right at 7 o'clock East Coast time because my daughter's having a sleepover, and they're going to want to play down here in the game room, so we're going to be shutting things out. But 7:15 tonight, I believe, the Super Game Room dudes are going to go live on YouTube, so you guys can leave here and go right over to P-Dubs and Clan and see what they have going on for you. But first, he's back from his orbit. He's back in his studio. We've got Mr. Glenn Planamento. You're back. I guess
it was fine out there, though.
Well, I mean, you had to come back sooner or later, right? Cole had to eat.
He did, and the fuel costs are expensive. You know what it costs for rocket fuel? So I just couldn't afford it.
Well, you know, it's great to have you back here on planet Earth with Planet Kathleen Kennedy, and we know you love to be here, so it's great to have you back.
You had to go there already, right?
I did have
trying to get the blood going already, right?
And we also have Daniel here manning the chat room, so if you guys see anything on YouTube, more than likely he's right in the chat's in, and you got to look at the camera.
Oh my.
Hey, there you go. Now you're getting the hang of it instead of watching the monitor. We also got with us Mr. Douglas Smith, Mr. Cool Toy. Hey, I like the ambience in your room today.
Yes, thank you. I'm gearing up for Halloween. Like I'm already, like, the moment September 1st rolled around, I'm like, all right, it's time to start decorating for Halloween. So
the cold weather ushers in, right? And you just start.
Yeah, it's still 92 degrees outside, but you know. I'm already ready for fall. You know, Halloween's my season. That's what I look forward to every year. So I'll be decorating the house this holiday weekend with all the Halloween decorations. Digging that out of the garage in the attic.
So we're gonna have it's 72 degrees here right now. We're gonna have 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, that are gonna be in like 80, 85 mark, and then it's all downhill from there. Then it'll be time for me to start closing out the pool and the boat and stuff that I didn't really get to use this summer. You know, that type of stuff. So, yeah, good times. Well, guys, we also are going to have a special guest. We have Rexer coming on. He had to go pick up his son from school, but as soon as he gets back, he's going to join us, and we're going to talk some gaming. But, guys, you know, I wanted to get your opinion. At Games had a super big week this week. Right before we did Legends Center, the Gamer Mini was announced. Well, it wasn't. We already knew about it, but it was brought out. You got to see some products with it, pictures, and the Gamer. The embargo lifted on Monday. What's your thoughts, Glenn? Go for it.
Well, it's basically a miniature version, obviously, of the Legends Ultimate or the Legends Gamer. If you don't have anyone like myself, any friends, it's just yourself. It takes up less space, which is pretty cool. And it's also a little more expensive. So if you're tight for space and you don't need 2 players, it's a nice thing to get.
Hey, don't forget you don't have any girlfriends too, so don't forget about
this
that.
Kid, he's all over me. He's the monkey on my back, man. Get him off!
Well, he's trying to tell you need to get a girlfriend so you can actually play this, right?
No, I'm telling you
That's
that you're lonely.
Again, why I spend so much money on that rocket fuel? I couldn't pay for the girlfriend. So, you know,
they're
expensive.
What about Doug? Are you planning on picking this up? Is this something that you're looking at as a potential?
I already purchased the Legends Gamer Pro, like the 2-player one. So I really have no need for the 1-player mini version. Although I do like it. I like the concept and the theory behind it. You know, just a 1-player arcade stick that has all the bells and whistles of the actual At Games Legends Ultimate cabinet at a lower, more cost conscientious price point. for people that don't have space, or they're worried about filling up their houses with all these arcades and pinball machines, things like that. Obviously, this is a great way to kind of get your toe in the water, so to speak, and get started with the ALU atmosphere, so to speak. The all the different devices and interconnectivity that you can do with this. I really like the idea and the concept. The mini's just not going to be for me, just because I already got the full-size cabinet and the Gamer Pro on its way. So I'll have to pass on this one.
Well, so that's what I kind of wanted to talk about along with the Gamer Pro, right? I wanted to talk about something that somebody just put in the chat room, and I'm going to throw it up here on the screen. The 40-year-old gamer, that's his username, he says, when is the 5.0 coming out? Is it coming out still today? So we can address this really quick. So right now, at the last minute, At Games had some stuff that they wanted to add and some things that needed to be fixed right before launch, and it couldn't wait. So there are some guys out there that got a 5.0. They got it in the first 20 minutes that it was out. At Games then pulled it, okay? But then after that, what's going to happen is you're probably going to see a 5.01 that's going to launch. And for those of you guys that have 5.0, you're going to need to update to that. So that's something that's coming. But it's hit or miss right now if it's going to come late tonight. My suspicion is because they're Pacific time that it's going to come later tonight, if I was going to be completely honest with everybody. That's the rumblings that I'm hearing right now.
Be honest for a change, would you?
Yeah, I mean, things with At Games, when we do the show, Legend Center, things change on the fly. At Games is constantly trying to improve everything. They're trying to make things better. They're trying to, give you, the users, what you want. And not all the time does it happen when we want it to. So, unfortunately, guys, we're not getting it yesterday like everybody wanted. That's the unfortunate part.
Want my bubble bobble now, dang it.
Like you and everybody else, right?
Yep.
You're like, this is America. We should get video games for free.
So, I mean, Glenn, you've seen it. You deal with it all the time with your hardware.
Right. And actually, speaking of that, I actually did an update today on my my Kickstarter that we are still shooting for this month. So before this month's out, we have everything pretty much ready to go. The software's been finalized and tested. The motherboard's been all set to go. The casings are all done. The boxes are all done. But yeah, I mean, we pushed back a little bit because we want to make some modifications, and it takes time to, not only do it, but you have to test it again. All the testing you did beforehand,
yep,
you got to do it all over again to make sure you didn't break something else. So it's understandable. And, we've talked about this before. At Games is trying to give you pretty much everything in one box, and sometimes you have to wait a little bit.
Well, and this is something this is another, and not that we're trying to be cheerleaders here for At Games. Another question that came in: which At Games Legend unit is the best one to help me beat all your high scores? Just saying. I can't speak for everybody here, but I know that it wouldn't take much to beat my high score, because my goal is just to beat Glenn and P-Dubs, and Doug could wipe the floor with us all. My son probably could wipe the floor.
How's that asteroid score going? Oh, that's right. I still have
it.
No one knows.
Nobody knows about that.
Yo. Yeah. I'm going to beat your butt because I'm going to beat your butt on Centipede.
But I'll say something else here. There was a super chat, real quick super chat here from Complete Geek TV.
Yes.
When is Glenn's dating show come on? I think At Games should put an option, firmware version 6, for the Glenn dating game, where people can kind of vote, maybe upload photographs, and we could do a dating show for me on the At Games Legends Ultimate.
And also,
PK, I think this would be a great idea, man.
And also
people like The Bachelor, right? People love The Bachelor.
People would watch it.
Right? People watch this.
Absolutely.
And the second thing they said is Doug breaks the bank account. When is that coming?
Oh, when's Doug break? They're not going to let you live that down, Doug.
That's a reality show that I live every day, man. I mean, everybody complains that I cost them money, but they forget that I also buy all this stuff myself. Like, I spent $400 on a freaking Millennium Falcon this week. So
good
which
job.
was nice.
So,
it was nice.
So
yeah,
it was nice, and
it was everything I'd hoped it would be. But still, at the end of the day, it was $400.
So
I'm trying not to punch myself in the mouth for that.
Glenn, Jordan's saying he has the highest score on Tempest.
Oh,
I think he's calling you out.
That's okay. I mean, Tempest, I love Tempest. That wasn't my game. My game was Asteroids Deluxe, Space Invaders. Those are my games. So I can go at it again. I could cheat, put my new spinner in, but that'd be cheating.
Wait.
So
Wait.
I don't cheat.
So one of
I
your
don't cheat.
games is
I don't
Centipede?
suppress high scores like some people in the community. When I get high score, that it's not noted, or whatever.
Oh, you want to bet me on Centipede?
He's still on Centipede. He's like,
I'll bet you on Centipede. I'll go up against you on some Centipede. Yeah,
I'm
I'll do that.
I'm gonna beat your butt, boy.
he.
Boy, you don't even have any girlfriends.
Boy,
Well, you know what?
Neither
I'll
do
tell you
you.
something, man.
Better
Yeah,
not.
because
I wanna
I'm an
pay-
8-year-old.
I wanted to pay the lady to beat my butt because they charge like $50 an hour. So
Oh,
You pay me
my,
you
oh
pay
my.
me $100 every time I beat you.
well, maybe we should change the subject entirely. Here. We got to put.
You know what he's
big
gonna do with
X's
that
on
$100? He wants more Robux. That's what it is. So he's going after it.
No, I want more video games.
So, yeah, it sounds like a challenge. There's a lot of guys in the. So make sure you guys get it out there. I know there's some discrepancies going on right now too with the Legends build quality. Okay, nobody's really had their hands on it, but like one or two people. So before everybody jumps the gun and starts throwing pitchforks and starts lighting at games on fire, you got to think about this for a second. Their cam lock system that they're using in the new ones. Most of you guys that buy furniture from IKEA, Walmart, all these places, guess what? You're using cam locks. And a lot of that furniture you're sitting on. So, do I think it's a bad idea that they did that? No. I do think, and I don't know if you guys think the same way, and I kind of want to get your opinion. Do you think the original cabinet was overbuilt for what it was? I mean, those L metal brackets that were inside, it almost seems overkill in a sense for what it does.
It was, and I was shocked when I got mine. I mean, it blew me away what they did in there. It was a little overkill, but again, when is overkill a bad thing?
No, right. That's not what I mean by that. But I mean, like, do you guys think with the cam lock system, Doug? Do you think it's gonna fall apart?
No, I mean, it's not going to break down at the cam lock. If anything, it's going to break down in the panels. The cam lock's not the weak point. It's whatever the material is holding the cam lock, sections together, like, your L corners and things like that. That's where things break down. It's not in the, adhesion, so to speak, with the hardware. So I think cam locks is honestly over-engineered for what it is, as far as the arcade cabinet. So I'm happy to see them using it. I don't think that's why people should be concerned about anything as far as quality concerns. Like, I'd be more concerned with the postman delivering something and like smashing a corner or something and like separating and delaminating the wood.
No, 100% agree with that. I think that people should just, if you're looking to get the 1.0, and I'm not to speak for everybody here if you guys disagree, if you're going to get the 1.0 because you don't have the 1.0, if you're getting the 1.1, you don't have the 1.0, take the shot at it. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I really like the cabinet, the 1.0 version. If any of us end up getting it as a review or something, we'll compare it. We'll let you guys know. But honestly, as a 1.0 user, I'm not going to run out and buy a 1.1 and swap this because, the machine is great.
Right. And the firmware will eventually merge, so you'll be having the same experience on both.
Yeah, and Jordan here in the chat room, he is stating that you may have to tighten the cams once in a while, and I would say that's true if you're going to move the system. If you move your arcades often, you're probably going to, I've had that with arcade 1-up risers, where sometimes the screws come loose in the front, and I could show you on a Street Fighter one, that it comes loose. So none of these things are impervious to damage. And I'll give you an example. And this is not to bash Arcade 1-Up. This is not to bash any company. But I had a brand new, I got it a year ago, I believe it was, the Galaga cabinet, right, guys? So it was working great Saturday. My buddy got a high score on it of 103,000. He wrote it in there. The last couple of weeks he's been doing it, and it's not retaining the score. And I didn't think nothing of it. I just thought maybe it was a bug in the firmware.
When it scores that low, it happens. Low score.
Hey.
Cold-blooded.
So what ended up happening is I turned it on Monday when I do the firmware updates because, I was putting some beta firmware on the Legends, and the Galaga didn't turn on. And I pulled the PCB out of the 12-in-1, put it in, booted right up, so I knew it wasn't the screen. I checked the encoder board. I have a Street Fighter encoder board, plugged it in. All the controls worked. So I knew it wasn't that. So that leaves two other things, the PCB or the ribbon cable. So I changed the ribbon cable. Still didn't do nothing. So what happened is the Galaga ended up dying. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is I did put in an order from Arcade 1-Up, and I was like, hey, you know, I'm happy to pay for it, but it died. I really want to get it here. My daughter's having a sleepover. I want to at least to play. And a bunch of the guys in the community, and a shout out to the community members out there, they all jumped. There's like 3 or 4 guys that messaged me and said, hey, I'll send you one. Give me your address, you know, free of charge. I'm like, I'll pay for the shipping and everything. They're like, no, we'll take care of it. Bobby Vu was one of the first people that jumped in. And he was like, I'll have it to you.
Like a mother.
Yeah, and I'll have it for you in 2 days. Now, one thing with that board, it didn't have audio, but I didn't care because it's like as long as they get to play it, right?
Yeah.
Well, John D in Arcade 1-Up, he jumped ahead. He put me ahead of the line and got them to send me a PCB. It'll be here next week because of delays with UPS. So I'll be able to replace it out. But at least the kids can play, and then I'll just pay it forward. If somebody needs one in a hurry, I'll just send it out to them and do the same thing. But there was some clown, and I'm just going to put this out there, and I'm not going to say his name, in the community that was going to charge me $100 for the PCB.
You're going to put me on
I wasn't
like
going to
that,
say
man?
your name. I wasn't going to say it, but he said
Wow.
supply and demand. So he was not only going to charge me $100 for the PCB, but he was also going to charge me shipping, which was fine. I would have paid for shipping, but come on, guys. $100, you can go buy a new cab for that.
Why not just like
You know?
20?
Yeah.
I mean, I could
That's
see paying for the PCB at whatever Arcade 1-Up was going to charge it, $40 or whatever. But really, $100? Like,
It's a
come
little
on,
steep.
guys.
You're over.
A little steep.
With $100 between friends, man. Come on, Steven. You put me on the spotlight there. That's not cool.
Well,
It's
you
just
know.
supply and demand. Glenn was supplying you with a PCB and demanding
That's
$100.
right, man.
So,
Nothing like having kids who can't play a game, you know?
well, what I wanted to say was reach out to some of these guys in the community if you need help, because listen, they're all gamers at the end of the day. You can put aside all your differences if you have certain issues with certain people, because at the end of the day, the community was really awesome. I put a message out and they were like, yeah, I'll send it out to you. What do you need? I still have it. Did you find one? I mean, some people were like really following it up, and that to me, Glenn, you know, we sometimes get burned out. We think that this all, you know, like everybody complains or everybody's, you know, this just kind of gave me a little bit of sign of good faith, like, hey, the community's alive and well, and they're willing to help if they can, you know.
It's always to remember, we have like, you know, thousands and thousands of people out there. It's always the squeaky wheels, the complainers we hear all the time. Everyone else there is in the community enjoying it. And then when you have an issue, they rally, which is kind of nice.
Yep. So big shout out to Arcade 1-Up and John D for taking care of me and kind of getting me to the head of the line there. And again, big shout out to Bobby Vu over at To Die For. Huge help that was. I'm really appreciative of that. So anyways, I think this is really awesome. I'm really looking forward to what At Games is doing. I really am looking forward to if I'm going to build my own cabinet, that they're going to come out with that brain piece. So we've been calling it the hockey puck. It just seems like a good fitting. It's not going to work, and I'm just going to say it's not going to work in your Arcade 1-Up cabinets. You're going to have to literally build it from scratch, or you could use the frame of the Arcade 1-Up, I'm assuming. But I have some ideas I was thinking about for my buddy, making an actual golden tea type cabinet with that. I think that would be fun.
That'd be neat, yeah.
Yeah. So that's something that we're going to be checking out. But Doug, I want to turn it over to you. You had an interesting video that you had shared out today, so I'm going to let you kind of take over from there.
Oh yeah, we got the first look at the, well, it's kind of like an official trailer for the SNK Neo Geo MVSX home arcade system. So yeah, there'd been some images going around the internet for the last couple of weeks, but this is the first time we kind of see like a working model, not just mock-up photos and everything. We get a little glimpse of what the user interface kind of looks like. We see and get confirmation that's going to light up marquees, stereo speakers, you know, 17-inch LCD screen, buttons and joysticks look high quality. You know, it's a good looking system. We even get to see like it's got little screw hole cover caps there on the side of the bar top, which is nice. So it has that nice little flush red, blends in, so you don't have that gaping screw holes that you know stand out and kind of ruined the look of that beautiful big red cabinet. But I'm pretty excited about this now that I get to see the user interface and see an actual moving, working prototype, so to speak. I'm assuming this is a prototype, but with pre-orders being expected to be in the next week or so, this may be a production model as far as we know. So definitely excited about this coming out this November, and looking forward to pre-ordering one myself.
And what's the retail? Is this $4.99 for the top and the bottom if you order it together?
$4.99 retail price, top and bottom. It's right at about the same size as an arcade one-up cabinet. I think there's literally like an inch and a half difference tops. So it's going to scale well with all your other arcade one-up cabinets or your Legends Ultimate cabinet if you already got that and you want to line them all up in a row. So it's definitely a good option out there. And 50 games for that price point, I mean, that's a good deal.
That's nothing against Jong, but that was something that I thought of with that. I mean, this looks really good, and I think Jong's was about $100 to $150 overpriced a little bit, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd have to see them side by side. Now the question is, and I know Bobby Vu's in the chat room over on Facebook, is this a good price for what it is? Do you think you can build it cheaper than this? That'll be interesting because he builds a lot of this stuff, and I know you tinker with stuff like that.
You can always build it cheaper, but can the common person build it cheaper?
Right.
And typically the answer is no on that one, just because of the lack of know-how, skills, ability to, whether it be electronic knowledge or woodworking knowledge, those type of things. You got to have a little bit of both to be able to kind of piece that together and put it on a pedestal in your garage and come up with something like that from scratch. So more often than not, something like this is best for the common person to just pay the retail price.
And
real quick, Scott J put a good quote out there. You can't put a price tag on the experience.
There, I'm going to pull that up. That's good there.
Well, technically you can put a hospital bill on the experience if you don't know what you're doing. And that's a price tag when you got, like a thumb tack hammer in the back of your hand because you weren't paying attention.
Well, so I got to say, for that price, what you get, I think it's a good value. I mean, Neo Geo games are very good games. 50 of them already is a good value, but including the pedestal and everything like that, the decals, I think it's a nice price for the amount of games you're going to get on there, and they're all good games.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting it. I was talking with King the other day, and he was telling me, and I didn't know what your guys' thoughts was, because I don't want to take credit for this. He said that a lot of people don't realize that this isn't SNK bringing this out. It's like a third party that's
Unicode.
Yeah, so people have to remember that. So that you're not, some people, I've seen comments in the forums like, "Oh, you're just paying for the SNK name." Well, that's not necessarily true because this is a third party that's kind of doing that. And my question with all that said, do you think we're going to see more from that same company going around to the different distributions, like maybe Nintendo or maybe Sega? Do you think that's something that's a possibility?
Definitely not Nintendo. I say that right now.
Yeah.
You don't think they would? You don't think they would license that
to anyone, but Nintendo, no way.
But do you think that's a start where maybe we'll see Nintendo do their own?
I think.
Okay, Doug, you start. Good.
I was just gonna say, yeah, if we see anything arcade Nintendo-esque ever come out, it'll be because Nintendo chose to do it themselves. I mean, honestly, they don't need anybody else to help them get that type of thing off the ground. They've got all the networking, the development, the manufacturing. They've got all the tools in place to do it themselves. It's just a matter of when they decide that the right time is to do it. We see now more than ever Nintendo is kind of leaning into this nostalgia and this retro gaming craze that is booming more so than ever before. So I think within maybe a year or two, we do see something come from Nintendo, and it's going to be Nintendo on their own, not partnering up with Arcade 1-Up or iArcade or any of these other home arcade companies. I think they go the do it themselves route.
Glenn, what do you think?
Well, here's my take on it. The game that people want from Nintendo, Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr., and Nintendo really doesn't even have the license to work with it. So unless they can get that nailed down, I don't think you're going to see anything from them. They don't need to. They're making money hand over fist with the Switch and everything else. So a home arcade based on their arcade library, to them, is really not on the radar. And again, the game is Donkey Kong Jr., and then they themselves can't put that out. So I disagree with Doug on that. I don't think we'll see something from them in that form factor, in that fashion from Nintendo, and I sure as hell don't think they're going to let someone else do it.
So Complete Geek TV says they chatted with Doug about this, and was wondering if Capcom and Sega are rethinking Arcade 1-Up and thinking that they should make their own in one version. That's interesting.
Hope they don't make it like that Capcom stick that stunk.
Yeah, I mean,
that wasn't
another
that good.
That was another one of those examples where, Capcom signed off licensing for that stick, but they didn't make that stick, and that's part of the reason why it sucks so bad. So that's why people are a little bit hesitant on this Neo Geo MVSX, because SNK isn't manufacturing it. They're just signing, the licensing for the games, and a third-party company is making it. So I understand people's reservations and hesitations, but I think Capcom and Arcade 1-Up are, still going to be buddy and going to be releasing lots of more future titles. I don't think that partnership's going away anytime soon. I think Sega and Arcade 1-Up probably have a pretty good relationship as well. I think the Astro City Mini that we're seeing from Sega, mainly, Japan only, that's the focus for that release. So I think here in the States, at least, we'll definitely continue to see Capcom and Sega titles coming out through Arcade 1-Up primarily.
And hey, Doug, how's that 10 terabyte up and download speed that you got there?
Yeah, it started making him lag.
I don't know what's going on.
Wife's watching Netflix, but we have joining with us, but I think he's using his wrong camera, so he's going to freak out about it, but that's okay. It doesn't bother me
any.
You can
switch it, can't you?
Well, it pulled it in as you're using OBS. Is that the case?
OBS? No, I don't know. It's okay. We can use this camera. I don't mind. Hello, gentlemen. The Retro Bus Show. All right, it's good to be here. Hey, before we get started, I got to tell a story. Can I tell a quick story?
Absolutely, man. Go for it.
Okay, so this is going to hit home with Doug, because Doug told a similar story, and I had to get mine off my chest. So here's how it goes. I go to college my first year, and I come back home from college, and my sister walks up to me, and she goes, here's $20 for your portion. I said, my portion of what? And she goes, where this is going. Oh. She goes, oh, well, we had a garage sale. And I went, okay, what'd you sell? And she goes, oh, well, some of your games, your video games and that. I went, oh. She goes, oh yeah, and we sold all your Star Wars action figures. I was like, Elizabeth, I'm coming for you. Dropped to my knees. I was like, what? I had it all, Doug. I had, the C-3PO case, the Darth Vader, all the action figures.
Yeah, probably filled with action figures, accessories. I mean, yeah.
Gone. And you told a similar story on one of your shows. I went, oh my God, it's good to get it off my chest. I got to share that,
at least you got $20. My parents just got rid of it and kept it. They pocketed everything, and I guess took that as tuition for living with them.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah.
Well, it's great that you were able to join us and jump in here, and I got your camera situated, so you're back to your good one. So, but we were just talking about this MVS cabinet. What's your thoughts on this cabinet? Is it something that you're looking at, or do you just kind of put it in the same category as like the Arcade 1-Ups? And
well, I kind of put it in the same category right now, because we haven't seen one, so we don't know, the quality and the build and everything. And as I look at it further, it starts, you see that pinstripe, molding, T molding. You don't get actual T molding. You see it's like 1/2-inch wood. You see that it's the same size. So I really think they replicated the 1-Up strategy in how to make money and how to build an arcade. Now, the one thing I got to get off my chest on this thing is, can people stop finally talking about the volume button, whether it's a button or a knob or a button? Nobody cares. They're going to figure it out, man. I mean, Jesus, they get, does it spin? Is it a button? Who cares? They're not going to get it wrong. If it's a button, it'll be medium, low, high. If it's a knob, it'll turn the volume up. So
if they screw it up, I'll make a new part for it. You drop in a Glenn's Retro Show part and fix it. Not a big deal.
There you go. There you go. But, is it something I would get? Maybe. I actually did try and bid on in an auction, an arcade auction, a real Neo Geo. I think it was a 4-slot Neo Geo. I didn't win it. I bid like $250 or $300, and somebody just bid for 350. It was an absentee bid, but I do want one of those machines. I just don't know if I want, this particular one.
I think for me it'll look good with the rest of my 3/4 cabs in here, and for having some fun with it. I'm just, again, I go back to the same thing with the II Arcade. I'm not sold on that $500 price point with it. I know it's got 50 games, but it's like when you weigh it out and you go, At Games is $4.99 as a consumer, right? I guess that's the way I'm looking at it, because the consumer's not going to go out and buy a real arcade like you have and Doug and Glenn. They're looking at it from a practical standpoint. They're looking at, okay, what should I buy, right?
Well, I also think that when you talk about $500, it just seems like the At Games is a better buy to me, in my opinion. You're getting a better built quality machine. You're getting, a bigger control panel. You're getting more, and you can play more games, and bigger monitor. It seems like it might be a buy, because again, with mods and everything, you can add those 50 Neo Geo games. None are so hard that they won't run on any other piece of hardware. So, you just have to weigh all your options there.
Well, it'll remain to be seen. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. And Doug, maybe you'll end up getting it before everybody. We'll see here. If you purchase it before us, we might wait. We might let you buy it first, and you tell us what you.
Yeah, I'm always the guinea pig. I'm fine with that. That's my role. I take the bullet for everybody. That's fine. I'll QA it for everybody.
Except...
Yeah, but someone so handsome as you gotta be Superman. You're bulletproof.
Hey.
I don't feel bulletproof when
Glenn,
I get out of bed. I feel 30, 35.
Glenn, you need to get handsome to be getting a girlfriend right now.
Man,
He's back on
he's
you
just
again.
like flinging the poop at me,
He's
man.
just coming right back at you.
It's like
So-
Pitfall.
So one of the other things I want to bring up here real quick is this week, for those of you guys that have been, I'm a brand new Switch owner. My son's had it since day one, but I went out and got it because I wanted to experience, and I hate to say that word because
Experience
the
my
experience.
life.
But honestly, it's been a good console. I can sit and play it when I'm watching TV. But so I've been paying a lot more attention to the Nintendo Direct, and as we know that, there was a big Mario Brothers. Everybody knows it's the 35th anniversary of Super Mario. From the day, boy, do I feel old. I was 5 years old when Super Mario came out. Besides all these, this is not what I wanted to show. Is like the game. Obviously, the game's cool. The stuff on Animal Crossing is cool. This is what I wanted to round table a little bit. And this Mario Kart augmented reality type remote control system. So what Nintendo has done, and I'm going to try to find the video for you guys, is they made these remote control cars that kids can actually play, and you play it on your Switch and control it. Here it is. I'll pull this up here. If you didn't see it.
I want to see this.
So it actually uses these remote control cars with cameras on it. But like Doug and I were talking about in pre-show and before you guys could hear us, they did this right. I mean, this to me is going to open up a new world of video games.
I'm definitely
versus
gonna
real world.
annoy you with this.
I figured you're gonna want. I knew he was gonna
really
want.
Do.
He's gonna
Now
see it
that
and want it. I knew that.
Like, is it gonna come with a game cartridge?
Yeah, it'll have the game cartridge, the car, and I believe it's $100. Am I right? Or
I could
Yeah.
That sounds
spend.
about right.
and you could do up to 4 cars. So Rex, since you're a guest of honor, what do you think about this? Do you think this is a something to watch out? I mean, I personally think it's something we really need to watch out for.
Yeah, I think the technology is incredible. Actually, I can't wait to see it. My kid's going to want it for sure. It's not something that if I was playing alone as an adult would get, but
Sure.
I know my kid is going to love this. I know I'm going to have to play it with him, and I'm going to want to play it with him actually. So it's one of those things where you're going to want to play with them. You're going to be like, okay, I know this is for kids, but this is going to be fun to play with him. And I want to see how the technology works and how you set up these things that you go under and then how they come on the screen. It's going to be incredible. As when we were kids, obviously we never had anything like this. But if I did, it would have been amazing. I would have loved it. So we'll get it. I'm sure we'll get it. But yeah.
And I don't think, Doug, $100 doesn't seem bad for it. And
No, it's crazy cheap in my opinion, because I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that they've got, wireless video transmission essentially kind of going, because they've got the camera on the car, but you're got your Switch handheld and you're picking up, that camera's movement and everything, and it's not going to be connected to the Switch in any shape or form, at least to my knowledge. So I'm just like, wow, for $100 you're getting a game, wireless video transmission capabilities, and I'm assuming it's going to be, very low latency input delay type of, response between what the car sees and what you're inputting on the controller. Otherwise, that would just blow the entire gaming experience out the water. So I don't think Nintendo is going to release something that's going to have all sorts of delay and lag issues and, interpolated images that are just all squiggly lines and things like that. The only downside I can think about this, honestly, is just it's the same thing with all like RC cars for the most part. Is if you got like thick carpet or something, I don't see this working well. This want to be hardwood, hardwoods and tile floor type of thing, and you're definitely going to have to move some furniture to create a nice racetrack for yourself.
Glenn,
otherwise you'll get bored.
What do you think? Do you think they're using the IR blasters in the controllers, or do you think that they're going straight Wi-Fi, like you're connecting to the device via Wi-Fi and you're not connecting to your local network?
I'm going to bet it's going to be over Wi-Fi. I mean, if you look at these, I have them all over my house, these Waze cams. They're about $30. They're 1080p. They go over Wi-Fi. They work very, very well, very crisp, very low latency. So the technology is definitely there. And of course, Nintendo has much bigger buying power than Waze does. So I definitely think it's going to be over Wi-Fi. But Doug's right. Like in my house, I have blue and I got rugs. So I got dog hair and I got rugs. So the two things this kind of car is not going to really like. But if you do have, if you like Steven or Doug who have these big mansions, not like my small little humble rug house, you have plenty of room to drive it around. But in my place, first of all, Blue would see it driving and he would eat it.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, that's true. I could use it to terrorize the cats.
I got a question. When I was watching the video, it looked like they had integrated other effects into it. It's not just a picture of your house driving through, which I thought was incredible. I'm like, how are they doing this? How are they picking out things and loading them into so it looks better? So you guys notice that, or what did you think?
Yeah, you could hit your buddy with a turtle shell or throw an ink blob
or ink blob.
All the
mystery
box prize items that you're used to in the Mario Kart universe, look like they were going to be integrated in this game, which to your point, Rex, is simply amazing, because that adds to the experience. You're driving along, hey, you're in first place, boom, you get hit with an ink blot and you're like shaking your Switch going, get this crap off my screen, and then you drive right into the dining room table.
Hey, wait, no, we don't want to do that. What do you think? Is this something you want for Christmas?
Definitely.
Oh, of course. She probably wants two, like Glenn.
No.
Okay.
5.
Just going straight to the top.
For the cats too.
Oh yeah, of course. No, but I agree with Rex on this one. I think this is something that we could all play. My wife. Now, they didn't really say. Now, my wife has a Switch Lite. They didn't say if it was going to be compatible with all Switches. I mean, I just assume
there's only two
that
kinds
it
of
would.
Switches.
Does anybody else on here know? Chat room, Rex, anybody? Do you guys know if it's compatible?
I would think it does.
Okay.
I would think it is, but I mean, I don't see why not. I have a Switch and a Lite, and every game that we have plays on each other, so I don't know if
It wouldn't make sense to alienate some of the audience to have right now with a game like that. So I would think it's compatible with both, either way.
Well,
especially your paying customers that just went out and bought this Switch Lite, which technically is like the newest version. You don't want to be that guy that has egg on his face that bought the newest version and now sitting there trying to play a game that just came out, and you're like, oh wait, the people that have the old Switch can play it, but the guy that just bought this literally 2 days ago at the store can't. Yeah, that would make sense.
Well, and there's one other thing that goes along with this, and I'm going to let Glenn lead this one, because Nintendo took homage to the retro community, and I believe it's because of Glenn. They watched Glenn's retro show, and they brought out the Game & Watch, and I believe, Glenn, you are super excited about this.
I do, because I already got their 2 prototypes. I have them right here in my hand right now. Plays Mario Brothers. It plays 350 Nintendo games on it right now on these guys right here. Okay, I'm lying. These are the original, these are the original Game & Watches. But and the one thing that bothers me, I mean, I definitely want this. I want 5 of them. I do. But this is classic Nintendo that drives me insane. It's a limited release.
Yep.
So basically, I'm gonna have to beat the living daylights out of all you guys before you get a chance to order them. And that drives me crazy about Nintendo. I mean, this thing's gonna be really cool. These things I love. These actually, I was telling the guys pre-show, these here are actually before Nintendo even launched them in the States. My uncle was working for them. They were trying to find out what we're gonna call these things. So these are way, way older than the ones that anyone else has in the country. My uncle gave me these. But this is a really cool thing like the classics. And why does Nintendo make it so limited that you literally will stab someone in the face to get one?
That's
I
why.
just I don't understand that thinking.
It sounds like your dating life.
Well, they're stabbing me in the face with mace. That's what I'm getting the mace in the face.
If someone tries to date you, they're just gonna stab a knife in your face.
Oh,
Man,
Yeah, we're gonna have to gag him a
it's
little bit.
horrible.
This is a tough crowd. But let me
Wow.
say this, Glenn. This is what
wow.
you should have done, Glenn. This is what you should be doing. You should be saying, "Man, these things stink. Don't get them. Don't get them." That way nobody buys them, and you buy them all up, and you buy them.
That's a
Yeah.
Rex.
But wait, isn't
I'm
it?
an honest guy. I'm an honest guy with the community. I cannot tell a lie.
Yeah,
I
right.
cannot-
Isn't
they're
this?
awesome.
But isn't this limited for like you can buy it for like till March, or is that just the game?
I thought they limited to 10,000 units. Am I wrong?
Oh, you might be right on that. Doug, I didn't see that.
Limited quantity is what I had read about it, and it was just, I mean, everything I was hearing about it sounded like a scalper's,
Yeah.
dream come true. It's coming out right before the holidays. Limited quantity, Nintendo retro. I mean, it's just checking all the boxes of, hey, buy it for 50 and sell it for 250 on eBay for most people.
Yep.
So this is definitely one of those things. Right now, it's available for pre-order in the UK. There's a Best Buy and a GameStop listing right now, but neither one of those are accepting American pre-orders right now. So you'll just kind of have to babysit those websites, or keep an eye on.
Just watch
social
your
media.
YouTube video because you're gonna let us know when it's gonna happen,
Right.
and then we're all gonna bum rush.
But
And
it's just
that's
a
the thing.
wrong
Like,
way
if you
to
want
be.
this, don't dilly dally. I mean, $50.
it's
It's
just
going to be
wrong.
limited. Yeah,
It's-
just
It is
Get a
just
pre-order
so
in.
wrong for a company as big as Nintendo to do this again and again. It was the SNES Classic. The SNES
But
Classic.
Glenn, they did it for the Switch game too. Like I pre-ordered the physical copy, but on launch day I'm going to download the digital copy, and I'm going to keep. It sounds ridiculous because I only do this with old copies. I'm going to keep the other one in the cellophane and just keep it on the shelf. I mean, Rex, did you pre-order the Mario Sunshine and all that? Or are you just going to go digital?
No, I'd go digital probably, but well, I'm really interested in this 35 player.
Oh, that
version
does
of
look
Super
cool.
Mario. I
yeah.
can't believe this thing. I mean, the way it looks and playing with other people and battling it out, that looks cool. But going back to the Game & Watch, I'm gonna order one of those for sure. But whether I get one or not, I don't know how that's gonna work. But the 35 anniversary of that game with Super Mario, incredible. I don't know what you guys think, but it's got to be at least a try, or you got to try it, you got to play it. How it's going to work, and how they even made this game to interface with 35 different people and have bombs and things and Goombas and flying all over the place. I don't know. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely going to get your heart rate going and get some anxiety levels really high, just because it's just like Mario Kart. You're in first place, and then boom, you get hit with a tortoiseshell, and then boom, guess what? You're in 8th place now. This is how that kind of 35 Mario plays out. With you kill an enemy, it jumps over to somebody else's screen. They kill an enemy, it jumps over to your screen. You got 35 different people playing the same level. I mean, that's just pure chaos. 30 seconds into the game, I would imagine.
I was looking for some footage on the website, and I can't find it because I was going to show it. Because Rex, you're 100% right. Like that's going to be available starting, I think it's October 18th through February or March 15th or 16th or something like that. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't know exactly when that one's available, but the other one that interests me was the All Stars is out now. I believe in the SNES store.
Yes.
And they upgraded that one as well. Now, All Stars was a great, remake. But even the graphics and the changes, I think they even did more on this one coming out.
Mhm.
And that one, I believe, is available now.
And it's free if you have the Nintendo, like I do the year thing, or it's like $20 for the year. So It
Which
automatically
Super
updated it,
chest.
but I did pre-order. But the other one's free, but you can't download it. It's gonna come up in the store. I believe it was September. Maybe I'm thinking September 18th. I'm looking on the site
Yep.
here.
September 18th is
September
the
18th. It's gonna come out.
3D All Stars.
And then that goes through March, and then after that you can't play it. So I'm with you. I think we should, Glenn, take your Switch out of the crusty package that you haven't taken it out of, and we all should play, all 5 of us, and see how it is playing against 35 people.
Oh, yes.
absolutely.
And I hope you can do friends play. Like I hope they match you up.
Oh,
with
that would be
friends
cool.
where-
Yeah.
because that would make it easy to make sure you're playing in the same group. And what if they did, hey, you don't want to play with 35? Maybe you can only play with 5, or you can play with 3, or you could play. That would be even better. Then you can just play with who you got, your close friends, and not have 35 people. But either way, it's going to be fun no matter what.
Hopefully they do this again next year. I know Beat 'em Ups Wood over there. He said that next year's Zelda's 35th. Hopefully they give Zelda the same love, because I kind of like Link better than I like Mario. And I have to say this: somebody in one of the forums said, "I'm making a new shirt for Zelda's 35th," and it says this: "What if Zelda was a girl?" And everybody commented on it and said, "Zelda is a girl." And the guy was like so embarrassed that he had to go back and
he
redo
was
the screen.
serious.
He was
I
dead
assumed he was
serious.
I thought he was just
He
being intentionally
associated
facetious.
no, he
Ooh.
associated Link as Zelda, and he put that. And at first, I thought it was a big, and he was just so
in his
embarrassed.
defense, he may have seen the CDI games first. In which case, I could totally understand that mistake.
Yeah. Okay. No. No.
I guess he didn't know his video game knowledge.
Pretty
just
much.
like Glenn.
So let's go. I know, Rex, you had messaged me earlier this week that you had a few things that you wanted to discuss. So I'm going to let you kind of head us into some of this stuff.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we could talk about anything.
Dude, hit us up, man.
One of the things, that I think is original that maybe many people out there don't do or don't talk about or don't play is a lot of the retro games online. And I just kind of wanted to make the community aware that there's many different platforms of online net play that you can play your old games on. Now, I personally am part of an NHL 94 league where we play leagues and then playoffs and all this stuff. And there's Tecmo Super Bowl leagues, there's Tecmo, there's Bases Loaded. There's tons of different platforms on Discord where people can play those things. But I just love playing online, and I love my NHL 94 league. I play a bunch of stuff online, not just that. But if people are interested and want to get back into those types of games where you play against each other, they just need to Google NHL 94 online, Tecmo Super Bowl online, all those games that were part of your childhood that are better playing against other people. And we have, these guys on NHL 94, and I want to give them a plug because they do such a fantastic job. They have websites where there's standings and playoffs and brackets, and they have A League, B League, C League, so you don't have to be the best of the best, even though the world's best players are actually on those sites. But you can play with lower competition, so it's fun for everybody. And obviously, if anybody ever has questions, I've done videos on how to set yourself up on RetroArch and NetPlay. There's many different platforms for online play, whether it's SNES Party or Fightcade for fighting games, or people even use what's called Parsec now, which is kind of like a screen share where they play more recent consoles all the way up to like Dreamcast and PS2 and that. I don't know how that works and how well it is, but I just wanted to make the community aware that that's out there. And obviously it's on the Switch as well. You get to play online, but they don't have the complete library of some of the games that you may want to play online.
So they'll play every game besides just like the hockey games?
Yeah, I've played my favorites. I played RBI Baseball online. I played, shoot 'em ups or Contra or beat 'em ups. You can play those online.
Nice.
They'll play, these guys, everything. It's out there, and that's what I mean. See, I didn't know about this till, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and the technology still wasn't that great. Different emulators like a Gen emulator and ZSNES. Now you can use RetroArch and you can use Direct Connection, and as long as the two people have decent internet play, I play fighting games. FBA Alpha, I play arcade fighting games with my buddy, and we play, Street Fighter Alpha 2 online, and it's flawless. I mean, we go pie to pie, we play pie to pie, PC to pie. You can play all this stuff. And by the way, since I mentioned his name, Kumla is a friend of mine, and he always chats on your videos, and he has a bone to pick with you. He says you always block his comments for some reason. It's KHAMLA. So if you see him again, Tech Buzz, don't block his comments.
Wait a second.
Right?
I don't, for the most part, unless somebody's like being stupid about, just.
Well, let me
I'm not going to get into it
on
on the show here, but like physical appearances, that's the only time I block it. If somebody starts attacking a physical appearance of mine, then I block it.
No.
But YouTube
might
put it into a holding pattern. I just didn't go in and approve it.
He's actually the one who actually won the At Games Christmas.
I did see that comment. Yeah.
I think you thought he was lying or joking, and he said
no.
it. And I'm like, what?
No, I didn't block it.
Oh,
So he commented. Okay, so let me explain that. He commented on the live stream. After the show's over, for those, what we're trying to do is give people exclusives that show up for the show. I turn the live stream on private. So what happens is, if he commented before I went private, it looks like it got deleted. I seriously did not delete it. So I could turn it back on and he would see it. So if you're watching, dude, I didn't do it.
He's watching. He's a fan. He's a fan of all you guys. But anyway, that's just you got a friend.
Rex, he only blocks the comments from the girls who are trying to get my phone number.
No, Glenn.
I don't see any of them.
Glenn, you're never gonna get a girl. You're never gonna get a honeymoon. You're gonna be alone and an old man. You're never gonna get anyone.
Oh my goodness, you're giving the guy a complex. Come on. Jeez.
You got some internet bully going on here.
I was gonna say, right?
He actually could be in the next Nostradamus, because so far he's dead right.
I could be the president one day, and you're never gonna.
Well, let's get back to this, Daniel. Let's get off the girlfriend thing. So, let me look here. Daniel said, I'm gonna pull this comment. I'm gonna pull this comment up because this is actually kind of funny. Daniel has the shovel out tonight, and he's burying Glenn.
You're dying tonight.
All right. No, Rex, that's really awesome to hear about that for the retro community. And if somebody wants to get in touch or join something like this, they just get in touch with you, or is there?
They can get in touch with me. Yeah, the Rex. I'm mainly on Discord. The show.
He's anti-Facebook.
I'm anti-Facebook, unfortunately. I feel bad, but I just can't do it anymore. I am on Twitter. You can get me at the Rexer Show there too. But mainly Discord. So look me up there. But all the forums are there. It's just a great time. And if people are looking for something like that, it's fun to do. It's really fun. And I want to give them a plug because these guys do a lot of work, like I said.
Absolutely. And for those that don't know, Rex messages me earlier this week and he goes, "Hey, what's the notes for this week?" And I said, whatever we come up with during a week. He's like, "Really?" And I think Dubs was even talking to me about that. And we just roll with it. It's like, okay, what's Glenn gonna do this week? And we kind of just roll with it.
That's it. Yeah. But dude, I gotta say though, I told this on Rex's show as well. If you people are not watching Rex's show, you are missing out on an absolute gem of a channel. He puts so much work. I mean, we put in no work. I'm surprised you do a show.
Wait a second. I do put some work in here.
But Rex really does put in a really good.
He does.
Game shows, these things, they are awesome. So I'm telling you, really, if you guys have not seen any of Rex's stuff after the show, not now, hop over there and look at it. I'm telling you, they are great. He does an amazing job. The guy's got talent.
Mm-hmm. My favorite, which I still need to come back on, but I need to come on with Glenn to beat the Canadians, because if I had Glenn, we would have beat the Canadians, because P-Dubs was my weak link. I was answering all the questions.
I fit like a pencil in half in that show.
Yeah. Well, let me say so people, because there's a lot of people who don't watch my channel, so they know. Just a little history. When I first started YouTube, and I started years ago, I did one video like 6 years ago, and the reason I got started was I kept watching these videos, and people would show like something like, okay, how to hack your Wii, and they'd be like, see, bing, 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 it works. And it made me so mad that they didn't show the details that I said, that's it. I'm getting on YouTube and I'm making a video on how to hack your Wii. So that's all I did. And then back then you could only do 15-minute videos if you didn't like have a channel. So I had to do 2 videos of 15 minutes and that was it. And that's all I did. And then shortly after that, I did a video on how to like use multi-man and RetroArch in a PS3 hack. And that was the only videos I did for a long time. And I kind of put it off for years to come. And then I said, well, I got time. I want to get back into doing tutorials. And I did more tutorials. I showed people how to play games. I've showed, people how to do this, hack that, whatever it is. And that was really what I wanted to build as a channel. But then I went to the point of, you know what? I really like this streaming stuff. I really like it. It's fun, but I want to make a channel where the audience is integrated into the show and not where it's just me talking to the audience, but I wanted to put the 2 things together where you have a podcast and you're really focused on the audience and as well as people who are on your show as well that you're talking to, because it's really hard to do. It's easy to talk to your audience if you're just one-on-one and you don't have any guests. But when you have guests and trying to integrate your chat users and all that, it's extremely difficult and it's hard to keep all that together. So, but that was my goal, and that's where I add little trivia stuff in. I do a whole show where I do trivia and we're streaming a game, and I have a co-host, John, who just talks, and then we do but we also do like retro stuff, movie, music, all this stuff where it's not just, oh, here, I'm going to ask you a trivia question and that's it. But how it all got started on the trivia thing was back on one of the Discord channels, and it was Mom My Classic, and there was a gentleman, it was actually Kamala again, who started a trivia thing, and I took it and I rolled with it, and Patton did it, and all these guys did it, and I said, this is a fantastic idea. How do I get it into YouTube where we can do it live? And so that's where my channel just keeps progressing, and then we do the rapid fire where we talk about topics. So, I love having people on. I love talking, and I more so love getting other people's opinion and getting it out of them, what they think and what they, want to say about products. So that's kind of my channel in a nutshell. Always progressing though. I try to be on the edge, the cutting edge.
Well, I think I speak for everyone here, but I think that, we've enjoyed watching it. I'll tune in and watch because I want to hear Glenn go on there and carry the team, or I want to hear, like when I was on there and P-dubs leaves me hanging, those types of things. So no, I'm just kidding.
Well,
so
like I said on one of my shows, you and P-dubs were really the one that kickstarted some of these ideas, when we did that at game stream, and I just took it and rolled with it. And it was thanks to you guys, because people, some people know and some people don't, because even though I told it before, but one of my first shows I had to cancel because we had guest issue, and then you popped in and said, let's do it. And that's how it kind of got rolling, and the rapid fire just took off. And, for my channel, I get a good amount of viewers, and I have you and P-dubs really to thank for that, and some other people as well. But, I'm just happy that you guys are such, good guys and, good people in the community, and you look out for smaller channels, and you kind of helped me along the way.
Hey, we're all small channels in my opinion. Yep. I mean, we're in the grand scheme of things.
But together we're huge.
But no, that's one of the things that me, Glenn, and Doug talked about when we started this. We wanted to bring in other people that we found interesting to let the community know about it. And I will say this: if you do not subscribe to Rexer, you need to go over there, youtube.com/The Rexer Show. Go subscribe. You will not be disappointed. It's a great show. We watch it. When's the shows? What days for people?
Well, usually we've been doing them on Tuesday. So this Tuesday coming up, we're going to have our high score kind of review of the Netflix episodes. We're doing 5 and 6, which is the final episodes, which is great because I haven't watched them yet, the 5 and 6, but I know it's about fighting games and Mortal Kombat, and that's right up my alley. So I'm really looking forward to reviewing those episodes. And then I try and do them on Fridays too, with my other buddy, John, who comes on and we do the trivia, but he's back to work. When that was the only good thing about COVID was I was at home a lot, and I got to stream and do whatever, and people weren't working, and it was like being a kid again, kind of, because you had more time to play games. But that was the only good thing. But usually just ring the bell. When you subscribe, ring the bell, you'll get the notifications. I promise you won't be disappointed. And I talked to Glenn a little bit. I got some good things even coming up. I got some new ideas. I'm always trying to come up with new and fresh ideas for the show. So
Well,
Yep,
that's
and he does such a good job, man. I don't know where they come from, but he executes it. I mean, it's one thing having an idea, but he executes it so freaking good. It's a disservice if you guys do not check out his channel. I'm telling you right now.
well.
Thanks. It's not as you know, it is not easy. I mean, if you look
No.
at my OBS, I got things all over the place, and I'm clicking things, and the
Oh,
trivia,
yeah.
and it's just complete mess, and it's so hard to pay attention and write. And
That's why
and
people
you got even more stuff.
people always say, like, I'm gonna lose my mind when people call me a YouTuber, because I don't consider myself a YouTuber. I put videos out, I do that, but my forte is in the live, and that's kind of overblown. I kind of made a joke about that. It's kind of like the whole pinball thing, but I definitely think that if we like to have you on again, you know, and have you come on here to talk games and everything. So we really appreciate you making time for us. I know with the time zone difference, it's a little hard to do sometimes, but we appreciate you coming on,
problem.
guys. Go check them out, youtube.com/The Rexer Show. And guys, we're gonna wind this down, and I just want to let everybody know. I just spoke with P-Dubs in a message that they are going live at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Super Game Room, dudes. Tonight, I don't know what the topics are, what they're discussing, but I'm letting you guys know that they're gonna go live, like they always do. So go watch the show tonight. But
the Super Game Room, dude.
Okay.
and Glenn.
Okay, now you're definitely
So-
not gonna get a girlfriend.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say goodbye to Daniel because he's in a hurry to get upstairs. So, Daniel,
Yeah, go away, Daniel.
we'll see ya.
You boy, Oli. Okay, bye.
And Glenn, anything upcoming from you?
The other thing I talked about at the beginning of the show is that the Kickstarter Star Wars Yoke, we're going to get it out this month. So before the end of the month, people should start getting them. Everything else is set to go. After that, got to find a girlfriend because Daniel's making too much fun of me.
And Mr.
Glenn, I'll do a show. Glenn, I'll make up a dating show with just you on it. We'll see if I can.
I'm on there.
I love it.
I'm
I
there.
love it. That's awesome.
That'll
That's
be that'll be one to watch, folks. If Rex is gonna do that, that'll be one to watch. Mr.
I
Doug.
think I got an idea. I'll tell
No,
you.
go ahead.
awesome. Let's hear it.
We'll have to screen them with video game questions, Glenn. And if they don't get them right, you could be like, "Get out of here! You don't know what
Actually,
Yeah.
let's not get crazy now. Let's get crazy. First, let's hear them out before we start kicking them out. Okay?
Wait. Let's do this. Wait a second. You guys that are left in the chat room, how many of you guys would love to see Rexer do a dating show with Glenn and do what he's very talking about? Put like a thumbs up in the chat room, or put a 1, or put numbers or something in the chat room. Put it in there right now. Let's see who thinks this is a good idea.
I have very minimal women viewers. That's the problem. I wish I had more, but I have very few.
Oh,
minimum
yeah. Okay. Let's
women
put a
viewers.
stipulation in here. Stipulation right now. Got to be women.
That would help.
Not that
That
there's
would help.
anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong, but the Glenster.
I don't know. Looks like Rex. Looks like you're doing the show.
Biologically
People
women.
are
I have another stipulation. Biologically women.
people are like, I'd watch that show. So
Glenn, I think you're famous for saying it's better to have options.
oh,
Than nothing at all. So
Don't use that against me now, Doug. Really?
I'm
You're
just
taking a
saying.
Daniel's position now?
Just saying.
wow. All right. Well, on that note,
boy.
guys, stay
This is
tuned because it looks
not
like
my
there's going to
day.
be a dating show with Glenn and Rexer. So
Yeah.
that ought to be interesting. Mr. Cool Toy, what do you got coming up?
I'm just relaxing, man. I'm playing Tony Hawk and Marvel's Avengers this weekend.
I
so-
seen you nail that double kick flip earlier today.
I did. I'm surprised I didn't break my ankle and my
I was
neck.
impressed. I was impressed.
I was surprised you pulled it off. That skateboard was kind of in a bad spot when you got it down.
Oh yeah, there's 20 years of history of that skateboard almost going up my rear end several times. So I had some flashbacks instantly. There's definitely some moments where I had some Danny Glover-esque commentary, Lethal Weapon, where I was telling myself I'm way too old for this stuff. But I love skateboarding. I always will. I'm essentially too old to continue to do it competitively like I used to. But I'm just happy to see a good Tony Hawk game come out now, because Tony Hawk 5, the last one we got, was garbage, and that's complimenting garbage. So I'm happy for a good game to chill out and relax this holiday weekend.
I thought we were going to get through a whole show without him spending any of my money. And there he did it. right at the end. He did
You
it.
want it. You want it. You know
Listen.
you
I
want
used
it.
to skate too. I skated.
Mhm.
I mean, I grew up in that era too. And like you said, I had every Tony Hawk game, and the last one was really bad. Oh, you're killing me here.
You're welcome.
Anyways,
Stimulating that economy.
YouTube.com/CoolToy. Make sure you guys go check it out. And guys, stay tuned. This Wednesday we'll have more Legend Center. I hope we'll have some
Asteroids.
stuff to talk about as far as leaderboard games. Get out there and record your leaderboards.
Asteroids.
Maybe Glenn will actually make it to the leaderboards.
I am on the leaderboards. I've been for a number of weeks now.
Maybe we'll actually get to see his scores. We either see it or it didn't happen. That's what P-Dub said. So that's coming up next Friday. More of the retro buzz. We're gonna see if we can get another person on to talk some arcade and gaming. So stay tuned for that. We'll see what happens here this week. But guys, I really appreciate it.
Wait, you gotta come next week to see how Daniel burns me again next week.
Well, yeah, that's true. Okay, so look there's girls in the house, right? Look at my camera shake. Look
They're
at
running.
that's
Wow.
that is
They're
not
How
running.
many?
Oh God.
that's right above me. So that's why I said there's no post show, because you can see the camera shaking with
Oh, I feel for you.
preteen girls here. So I'm
I
gonna have to
feel for
fire
ya.
up the arcade. So that's why we're leaving. I didn't want anybody to think like, oh man, they usually do a post show. Not tonight. You don't want to be seeing shaking cameras and everything, and they're screaming and hollering and yelling. I hear them up through there. So, guys, really appreciate it. Until next time, keep it buzzing.